Transparency Treasures. It's Angel with Nola Brownell, who's going to be speaking on March 31st at 4 p.m. Pacific. But before she and I talk about what she's going to be bringing, I want to highlight last session with Myrna. Don't you just love her demeanor and her spirit and the heart that she has for God? I've known her for a long time. She's always smiling. Ever since I've known her, she always smiles. But don't you love the word that she brought, and don't you appreciate a first-hand account of what's happening in Ukraine and some of the more positive things? We've got a lot of conflicting news about what's happening in Ukraine and about the governments involved and whether or not they are really for the people, or is this really more of a political global chess game? But I love having firsthand accounts of what's going on from the people themselves, because that is more reliable than the news. Don't you just appreciate Myrna? Everybody send her a thank you for coming on and being with us. We love you. Thank you, Myrna. Nola, you're going to be speaking March 31st. The title called Heart Surrender, a journey of self-compassion. Where you're going to be beginning is going to start with my mom. For those of you who don't know, Nola was one of my mom's best and dearest friends before she passed away. Nola, my mom had a very profound effect on you just as friends, but then also her death. Can you share that?
Phyllis brought so much life to me. She taught me so much, but I've heard you talk about the fact that she was unable to forgive herself. She was so effective in ministering to other people. She loved people and she had such a heart for ministry. But the one downfall was that she just could not forgive herself. As a result, she went home too early. The last time that you talked about that just hit my heart like it hadn't before. I really did some serious soul searching, and I thought, I see myself in that picture. I've spent my entire life building walls around my heart, not resolving anything, not coming to the conclusion that what God says about me is right, but instead enveloped in self-hatred and constantly being angry with myself for making wrong decisions, which only leads to making more bad decisions. And I saw that I had the exact same potential to follow Phyllis's path. I started right away evaluating like a simple day and going, okay, I'm happy with this. I think this is good. I did good here. And here is where I would consider this a failure. And it's an opportunity for me to beat myself up and be disappointed. Or I have the opportunity to say, I have to turn this around. I have to have compassion for the fact that I'm not perfect yet. I haven't arrived yet. I just had to make the decision to celebrate the areas that I am happy with and that I am seeing progress in, and choose to say, God, I know you love me. Even though I don't really feel that, I'm choosing that for myself right now, because there's no way to move forward if I don't. The perpetual lie is just going to continue on and on and on until I make different choices. When I started just making those in small areas, I was really amazed at the profound effect that it had in loosening up my heart to be able to make better decisions.
What I like about what you're highlighting here is the fact that it's a heart surrender first. You can't surrender your life without first surrendering your heart. You can't surrender any area of your life until you first surrender your heart to God. And what does that mean? Well, I love that you're saying the self-compassion, because until we surrender our heart to God's love, which you are choosing to do, you can't really surrender your life. It will always be an exercise in willpower. It will always be an exercise in futility, dotted with failure after failure after failure, because you're trying to surrender in performance rather than surrendering your heart. Because if you're not in relationship in a heart capacity, there's nothing left except performance. When we surrender our hearts, we automatically will perform, because we're already performing out of what is in our heart. But when we surrender our heart to the Lord, He can then love us, which heals us from the inside out, and our behavior begins to naturally change. I'm looking forward to hearing all the details of what's happened and what is currently happening in your journey. So I hope all of you will join us on March 31st at 4 p.m. Pacific.